Okay, so let's talk about it. Kim Kardashian, Balenciaga, and I like how everything is all about Kim. By the way, like I don't understand why is she being the only one targeted about this stuff? Because I feel like there's other people and influencers, mostly influencers. Actually, I never even heard of Balenciaga until these so-called influencers. Which, by the way, I don't understand why we keep calling them influencers because if they're not influencing my life, if they're influencing your life, then that's just something that, I mean, are we that dense that we need to have an influencer to influence us in some type of way or another? I don't think so. But whatever. Kim Kardashian took some time out to think about what she wanted to say about the situation, and it just doesn't make any sense. It just, all right, so anybody with a healthy mind immediately would look at this ad and be like, what? Like, what? What? Why? Where? Like, what? Why? Why are we doing this? So, why is it there, right? So, I'm like, yeah, let's talk about that. I don't understand. Like, I just don't. And I'm gonna tell. Look at my room. Like, I'm very into the macabre. I'm very into that stuff. Like, I love it. I've always been a fan of horror, like the genre. I've always been very gothic, and like, but first of all, this can we just go back to the balance? That ad was on a whole nother level. Like, I'm sorry, but like child sacrifice or any human sacrifice in general, to me, that's like, that's some other type shit. Like, that's a whole other level that I'm not even like child. And this is not good because people who do like goth genre, horror, and all that stuff, we get a bad name for that shit. Like, we're just out here trying to live our little fantasy out, you know, watching horror movies and getting scared and all that stuff. We're not trying to commit homicide, bitch. So I don't understand, like, what is the like, why is this, like, I don't get it. Like, I just never understood it. It was something I just never understood. And I know there are some genres out there of rock music who actually do sing about this stuff. Like, the designer of Balenciaga herself, she wears a shirt that says Cannibal Corpse. Cannibal Corpse is basically a rock band, right? But it's like, I don't know. It's like, I don't know how to explain this. I just don't understand. Like, I don't want to understand it. And it's just like, when you see this, you just gotta ask yourself, why? Just why? And why include so much? Like, the whole child aspect, babies. Why do you have to? Why? Like, that's, first of all, that is not a belief system. I don't feel that is a belief system. I don't believe that's a religion. Honey, that's a cult. That's straight up a cult. It is a death cult at that. Sorry. Like, it is what it is. Sacrificing a human or a child, period. It's just, even an animal. That's not cool with me, honey. And I feel like I don't, like, the reason why I'm talking about this is because I've read about like the satanic panic back in like the 80s or whatever. And I don't want this to have a reoccurrence because I don't always dress up gothic style, or I don't always look gothic or, you know, emo or whatever. But there's times that I do, and I don't want to have I don't want to be persecuted for something that I'm not. Like, I don't want to be, like, you know what I mean? So I just don't want another satanic panic situation to come from this. It just doesn't make any sense. So it's just, and then the brand itself, I never understood it because if you look at the brand itself, if you look at the clothing, it's just like nothing but a sweater with a bunch of names written on it. Like, that to me is not fashion. I've yet to understand what is the brand of that. I don't get it. Maybe I haven't seen the runway shows enough or whatever, but like, from what I've seen, I just don't get it. I just don't see the brand. And to be honest with you, like I said, I love goth. I love Alexander McQueen. The name itself, if you look at Balenciaga, the name itself, if you look at the etymology, if you look at like word structure, the name itself just seems so toxic. It's like, what are you, Balenciaga? Like, it doesn't make any sense. When you look at Alexander McQueen, you think about, You think about like Gothic churches, you think about castles, royalty, knights in armor, you think about stones, you think about masonry, you think about moats, you think about like, you know, swords and shields, you think of like goth, like, you know what I mean? Medieval times, you know, like stained windows, you know what I mean? Like I don't get the whole name of it on just the name alone. I just don't get it. And Alexander McQueen did what I appreciate. You could see the brand. It had substance. There was actual fashion in it. It wasn't just like, oh, okay, we're just gonna make this random sweater and just make like a bunch of names on it. Like, no, it was literally like, I just can't. And then the price point, can we talk about like $2,000, $3,000 for a sweater? Girl, where do you even, my question is like, where do you wash it? Like, do you take it to like the local cleaners? Because I wouldn't trust the local cleaners with my $2,000 sweater. I'm just saying. Do you wash it yourself? How do you wash it? Does Baal-en-CIA-GA have their own cleaners or something where you can take the, I don't know. How does that work? Because if you have just a regular jumper sweater, why are you spending $3,000 on a jumper sweater? Like, can somebody please explain that to me? Maybe I'm just not cool and hip. Like, I'm just not down with the hippity hop. I'm not cool. Maybe I'm not. Maybe I'm not. But at the same time, like, you can't deny it on its face. It's literally just a sweater with a bunch or just a name on it. Like, I can take any sweater right now and just write my name on it, and like, is that okay for me to sell for $2,000 or $3,000? But why is it okay for them to sell it for $2,000 or $3,000? I'm just saying, and I'm not even going like, because if you look at Alexander McQueen, those pieces were worth money. I mean, there was a lot of detail, a lot of design put into these pieces that Alexander McQueen had. I remember like going down to the meatpacking district and just marveling at the window of Alexander McQueen where he had some of the pieces there was so beautiful. I was just like, just wowed by it all. It was amazing. Like, I will never forget that. I remember that one night I walked up to the glass and it was just so beautiful. These dresses, these pieces was gorgeous. And you can see why they would charge that much money for it. So I don't get it. I feel like this is so weird to me. It's beyond my comprehension. Like, it's beyond me. I would never understand it. I don't get it. And like Kim Kardashian, like, if you really look at her actions, it's very telling. Just weird shit. Like, she will forgive that company, right? And then here's the thing. Here's the question I have. How does she feel about this? Like, does she actually like what does she, when she's in the makeup chair, does she know? Like, does she know the aspect behind the designing of it? Like, does she know like why she's wearing what she's wearing? And if she does, is she okay with it? Does she disagree with it, but she has to go along with it because she's getting paid? Or does she actually like love it and she's going with it and she's promoting it because she wants to push it out more? Like, what's going through her head when she's at these photo shoots and she's at these carpet events and she's wearing these pieces that look very weird? I mean, honestly speaking, like I said, I'm all goth and stuff like that, but Kim Kardashian does not come from that. From what we have seen, she doesn't come, like, she wasn't like I could maybe see this coming from like the Osbourne family, but like, honey, you came up like totally different. That's not your upbringing at all. It wasn't even your interest until recent. So why all of a sudden, like, you know what I mean? Does she know? Does she not care? Does she actually know and she's actually pushing it? That's my question. Like, when I see this, I'm like, the first thing I'm asking myself, like, does she, like, what is she thinking? Like, what the hell? So anybody, like, I don't know. It's just, it's tough because this makes like I said, it makes everybody look bad. This creates a satanic panic, which is not good because not everybody's the same. Okay. We all have different styles. We all have different ways of living. And this, like, if I decide to live like a big Halloween Buffy fan, like, I love Halloween. I'm a Halloween buff. That's just me. Like that's just like on his face, you can tell. I just love that shit. But to involve children and the sacrifice element, and that is like the children part is really where you get like, oh, it's like, whoa, what the fuck? can you just imagine? Can you just fucking imagine? Like, just imagine. Okay, you're a child. Just imagine when you was young, and you maybe have been in a situation, but like, imagine being a kid who is forcefully being put in a situation that they don't want, that is causing so much pain and horror and trauma. Why? Why? Why would you be so happy to promote this? And so, like, what? Why did you take so long to even address the issue? Why? What is going on? I don't know. That was just my take on it. It's just really weird to me. I don't understand it. I guess I never will understand it. I don't want to understand it. I just don't understand, why is it there? Like, we have to know. Like, you don't need scripture. You don't need law to know what's wrong and right. I mean, you don't even need experience to know. There's children at a young age can tell you, nah, that's weird, mom, or that's weird. They'll just come on and like that, you're weird. They'll just say it because they're not like, come on. There is something going on. It's really weird. It's very strange. I don't understand it, but that's the world we live in today, I guess. No. No. She needs to be corrected. This is terrible. This is absolutely horrible. I don't understand it. I don't get it. I don't understand the brand. Again, I don't understand the brand itself. I just don't understand the brand. I don't get it. I don't understand why you would pay, like I see Trisha Paytas paying like thousands of dollars for a sweater. Huh? Why? It's just, girl, what? Anyway, I'm gonna leave that there. I hope you guys did enjoy this crazy talk ramble. I just had to rant because I'm just like, what the fuck? Why? Doesn't make sense. You like, she was quick to cancel people for political views. I believe she was like canceling Kanye because he was supporting that other dude with the orange skin. But then like, you're supporting this and you're like bending yourself backwards trying to find a way to make it sound like, what the, are you so you're not gonna cancel that? Like, dude. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, just do the research, look it up. This ad was terrible. It was crazy, and it's not the first time that they have incorporated this into their imagery, into their brand. Again, I don't know anything about this brand. Only time I ever see this is when I see like young influencers out there wearing it and pushing it. I don't understand. I don't get it. And from what I remember, these influencers were not at all goth whatsoever. So what? I'm sorry, I just don't understand. And I'm open to, you know, education and understanding and like comments, like, you know, because this is a learning process. One thing I will never understand and never get behind is child sacrifice and child endangerment, torture. I will never do that, or child abuse, period. Sorry, that's not here. If you have a problem with that, don't hate me, honey. Just, you know where the X is at. You just X out the video. Unsubscribe if you have to, because bitch, I am not down with that. And if you're down with that, then let it be set on the record when you unsubscribe, because somebody needs to investigate your ass. I'm just saying. All right, bye.